This baked chicken spaghetti recipe is easy and delicious. It has cheese, vegetables, sour cream, spices. It's really quick. It's going to be amazing. I recently did a chicken spaghetti pie recipe, a pie version of the classic southern casserole, and it was a hit, so I wanted to do a casserole version. For those of you who don't know, chicken spaghetti is a classic old-fashioned southern dish in which spaghetti, chicken, usually canned cream of something soup, cheese. The old recipes have Velveeta usually, sometimes a can of Rotel tomatoes. It's all cooked separately and then put in a dish, baked, and it's amazing. However, I like to put my own spin on classic recipes while still staying true to the original concept. So that's what I'm going to do here. Here I have the spaghetti. I cooked half a pound or 8 ounces or 225 grams of whole wheat spaghetti. I brought the water to a boil on high heat, gas mark 6 out of 6. And then I added the spaghetti and boiled it for 8 minutes with a little bit of salt in the water, stirring occasionally, and drain. Last night I did my chicken. I had 2 small chicken leg quarters with the skin on. They were between 1 and 1.5 pounds. I took the skin off and then boiled them with some celery, carrot, garlic, onion, and bay leaf. So I basically made chicken stock. That really got the flavors into the meat, and it's going to be amazing. The chicken stock I'll use in another recipe. And now all I have to do is shred the chicken, take it off the bone, but I wanted you to see how much I'm putting in first. You don't have to use chicken leg quarters. You could use chicken breast, leftover rotisserie chicken, whatever you have on hand. Like I said, there is cheese. I'm using I'm using a full 8-ounce block of sharp cheddar cheese. Half of the block, 4 ounces, will go into the casserole, and then the other 4 ounces will go on top along with 60 grams or a quarter cup of sour cream. Instead of using a can of condensed cream of chicken or cream of mushroom soup, I am going to use sour cream. When I made the pie version, I used condensed cream of chicken soup, which was good. It added more chicken flavor, but honestly, I didn't feel like it had much other flavor. So I said I was going to use sour cream and onion soup mix next time, and that's what I'm going to do. 1 cup or 240 grams of sour cream along with 1 packet of onion soup mix. Like I said in the other video, I can't remember which one it was, thanks to Alicia Lynn for kind of getting the creativity flowing with the onion soup mix. And it's in a lot of southern recipes. I know Chris Cook for You Too likes to use it. She says it's one of her favorite ingredients. It's in a lot of Mississippi pot roast recipes. So by doing that combo, sour cream and onion soup mix, I feel like I'm staying true to the original southern recipe while still doing something different. I'm adding a lot of vegetables, half a pound or half of a 16-ounce bag of mixed vegetables, along with 1 red bell pepper. It was half a pound when I bought it. Chopped it up and added it to the frozen vegetables and microwaved them on high for 10 minutes. Then I took the top off so that the water could evaporate. Although I do have the onion soup mix, I'm adding some spices, half a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, basil, parsley, and oregano. And then I'll add a dash of each to the topping. I have a tablespoon of butter in with the spaghetti. I grease my 8x8 dish with the tablespoon, and then the leftover is here. I might stick that into the microwave to melt the butter real fast. I'm going to take the chicken off the bone, then I'll mix everything together. My chicken is now off the bone, and I went through with my fingers and pulled it apart into little pieces. In terms of grams, it was 250 grams, probably between 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 cups of chicken. I'm just going to mix that in. The residual heat from the spaghetti actually melted the butter, so I did not have to microwave it. As you can see, I already added the onion soup mix to my sour cream. So now I'm going to add that in. I will scrape that in a minute. I'm also going to add the vegetables, the cheese, and of course the spices. I forgot to mention that I am adding 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I know the cheese has salt, but I did not add any salt to the chicken, so I'm just going to add a bit of salt now. What I did forget to mention in the introduction was that I am going to add an egg. You probably don't need it, so I guess it's okay that I forgot about it. But I'm just going to add an egg to make sure that this sticks together and that I can slice it like a casserole. But I'm going to mix everything together and then give it a taste. And if I need to adjust the seasonings, I will do that before adding the egg. My baked chicken spaghetti recipe is progressing nicely. As you can see, the whole wheat spaghetti, the chicken, the vegetables, the cheese, the sour cream, the spices, and the onion soup mix are all mixed together. I tasted it and I already like it a lot better than the chicken spaghetti pie that had the canned cream of chicken soup. This is going to be awesome. Although I do think it's fine the way it is, I was imagining something a little bit creamier, a little bit more moisture, not a ton because I do want it to stay together. So I thought about adding more sour cream, but then I said, you know what? I liked the chicken flavor of the condensed soup, so why don't I add some of my chicken stock? And I'm especially going to go around the edge and see if I can get some of that chicken fat. So I'm going to do this a tablespoon at a time. And I'm going to first add it to my bowl that had the sour cream and everything, because I think I'll be able to scrape up the little bits that were left over. I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to mix. I ended up adding 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of the chicken stock, and I tasted it, and it's good. Definitely added chicken flavor, kind of like the canned condensed cream of chicken soup, but then I felt like the herbiness was kind of muted, so then I added an extra 1/4 teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, basil, etc. Now I'm going to add my 1 egg. It is beaten. I'm going to mix thoroughly. You can see my topping is already mixed. I'm going to add some more spices to that. Maybe I'll do 1/8 teaspoon here, another 1/8 teaspoon there. So I'll say 1 teaspoon each total in the casserole. My baked chicken spaghetti recipe is now nearing the end. You can see everything is in the casserole dish. I added another 1/8 teaspoon each of all the spices here, and 1/8 teaspoon each of all the spices to the cheese and sour cream topping. This spaghetti casserole is pretty firmly packed, so what I'm going to do is, instead of crumbling the top over, I'm just going to spread it out like this, and then I'm going to use my spoon to spread it out even more. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is going to go in uncovered for, I'm guessing, 40 minutes, but I will let you know. My chicken spaghetti just came out of the oven. It was in at 350, uncovered for 45 minutes. I wanted it to get a little bit more brown, so I left it in. As you can see, it's bubbling. I'm going to let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes, then I'll dig in. This casserole was really easy to make, so I was excited to try it. This baked chicken spaghetti recipe was incredibly delicious. Not only was it very cheesy, it was also full of flavor. As my subscribers know, a few weeks ago I did a pie version of this recipe, and although it was really good, I thought that using a can of condensed cream of chicken soup added a lot of chicken flavor, but not a lot of other flavor. So during the commentary of that video, I said that I would like to try sour cream with onion soup mix the next time I make chicken spaghetti. Well, I gave that a try, and I can tell you it is absolutely fantastic. It definitely adds a lot of flavor, a lot of herby and tangy flavor that canned condensed cream of chicken soup does not. But that's not to say that this casserole didn't taste like chicken. It definitely did. Not only because of the ample amount of chicken that was in it, but also because of the chicken broth that I added. Although I think that it would be perfectly good without any chicken broth, if you do boil some chicken to make this casserole, I think that adding a little bit of the chicken broth definitely adds to the chicken flavor in the same way that the cream of chicken soup does. I also liked that it was really colorful with all the vegetables. I know that the old-fashioned versions of chicken spaghetti usually don't have a lot of vegetables. Maybe a can of Rotel tomatoes or maybe some pimentos. But honestly, I'm really happy with my version because a lot of vegetables not only adds colors but also adds flavor and also nutrients. Combined with the whole wheat spaghetti, this recipe actually is somewhat healthy. Honestly, I felt like it had the perfect combination of flavors. The cheese, the chicken, the sour cream, the onion soup mix, the other herbs and spices. Excellent. I think that this recipe is a good example of how you can make something and then realize that although it's good, it's not quite what you had in mind. It could be improved upon. So the next time that you make it, you run with your gut, you run with your instincts, you get creative, you try something new, and you fall in love with it. But I'm not going to lie. I think that my baked chicken spaghetti recipe is pretty good, so you should definitely give it a try. It was cheesy, chickeny, and super easy to make. So I know that you'll love it just as much as I did. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.